Well,
Randy,
I'd
I
like
can
to
hear
start
you.
the meeting. It's 7:33. First order of business, I'll call the meeting to order. Approval of the October 2024 minutes. Can we have a motion to approve them?
I make a motion to
Second.
approve them.
Motion made by Dimitri, seconded by Andrea. Are there any comments?
Can you hear me?
I have a comment. Like fixed. In paragraph 6A. I asked, or we voted on having an extension to the design note, not an exception to the design note. Extension to the design note, not exception to the design. Other than that, I didn't see anything else.
Good pickup.
All right, that's all the comments. Motion, all in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Roll call, we have to do a roll call
Because people can see.
because people can't see. Roll call, Dennis?
Yeah.
Andrea?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Rich?
Yes.
Dimitri?
Yeah.
Cory?
Yes.
Who else is on here?
I'm here too. Mary.
You're an alternate, Mary, so you don't vote. Okay.
Steve, Randy is on.
Brad?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Brad, you're,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You
I can hear
me?
him too. So it's gotta be Steve's,
So we can hear you. So go ahead, Brad. Go ahead, Brad.
Yes, I agree. I'm sorry, I'm so confused.
He agrees, he said.
yes.
Yes.
I have a feeling it has to
Randy
do with
is
H2O.
Andrea,
Let's
you
see.
can hear me.
Who
Can
else would be
Steve-
on
No
here?
one else hear me?
Randy Dixon, is he on?
Just call him. He was trying
to get on. Might be called in.
I'm on the phone.
Okay.
Okay,
So do you
you
agree to
agree
the
with
minutes?
the minutes?
Yes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is budget update and expenses.
Hi.
So
So
I
I
did
did
this is
a,
Andrea.
this is Andrea.
Mute that loud.
Should mute that well.
Okay.
So
Okay, so the budget's coming in, our remaining balance is $63,840.87.
We have 72% of the budget remaining. The big expense was, we have a $19,540.13 from the operating budget, and then we used about the same amount of money, $19,700.74 from the carryover. So that was to pay that one-time fee for the shared infrastructure expenses, the invoice that we got from Frank Noe. And then the other thing that we spent money on this past month was the WPCA clerk for AA and the septic haul outs. So we're about halfway through that pot of money this year. And I think what else do I want to talk about? We did get the beginning process and request for next year's budget. So that is in motion. We got to start thinking and talking about what we want to do for next year. I'm gonna have to take some time off to dig through these past spreadsheets to work with the Clean Water Fund to try to see if we can come up with some reimbursable invoices. It's not going along as quickly as we had hoped, of course, right? What else is new? But there is a shot that we'll get some, reimbursement on that. And then we did get the extension on the clean water fund.
For a year.
Yeah, so that was really good. Those are my big budget highlights,
All right.
so that takes care of that.
And, just to confirm, we sent out a check and they have received, the beach associations, the CSA has received our invoice, our check for the invoice.
Yes,
And so, okay.
really, if check went out, I don't know if they cashed it, but it went out.
It's cashed.
It definitely went out. Okay,
It's cashed.
I hope they were happy.
They are happy. Okay, chairman's report. First thing is the IM status for New London. Shortly after our last meeting, the IMA was approved by all parties, including Old Vine. So we have an IMA with New London now. Thank you, Martha and Jim and Jude. The CSA update, Jim Lamppost has written up some of the changes that were discussed at the IMA special meeting. I reviewed them. I don't have any problems with that. We included in there and hopefully get that drawn up. That was also CC'd Mike, I guess, to write into contract.
I don't know. The last I heard from Jim, he hadn't heard back from Mike or you, either one.
Okay, I didn't, okay. I'll
I
just,
think he's waiting to hear from one of you.
okay. All right, so we'll get Mike to work on those changes. Drawing status, I see Jason Jaconitis is with us today. I know that Jason has told us that they are pretty much set to put 100% plans back up to DEP. If you can confirm that, Jason, by unmuting yourself, that would be great.
Yep. Good evening. Yes, yeah, we're making progress. We got some minor comments back on the 90% from Deep, so we're hoping the 100% review is fairly quick, and we're hoping to have that ready in the next couple of weeks.
Great. Can you, and after that, after approval, we will go out to bid. Is that correct?
Yeah, if all the other IMAs and everything is in place, and we have permission to advertise from Deep, then yeah, we would be able to put it out to bid.
Okay, thank you. So update with regards to Old Lyme Shores, Old Colony, and Miami Beach. So some things have happened that have disrupted this process somewhat. Yet again, Old Lyme Shores president, the chairman of the WPCA, and some other person,
Vice Chair
vice chair of the
WPCA.
WPCA resigned 2 weeks ago. All three, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Beach, Orange Shores?
Old Shores.
Based on, I guess, vitriolic emails going forward, being sent to each one of the people, publishing misperceptions of costs, that the chairman and the president and vice chair didn't agree with. I don't know what's gonna happen. Carlos spoke with me today and, said it's kind of in flux. He said, part of the problem is no one has any firm numbers. Yes.
They also canceled the referendum meeting,
Oh, that's right. They canceled the referendum and
which like that's last weekend, I think.
that was supposed to be November 9th. So everything has been put on hold
That was just for them.
on Old Lyme Shores.
They had to increase the referendum to do all of the sewer and all the things that they
The
were supposed to.
drainage, the road work. So
To accept more money, they had to hire a higher referendum, they feel.
I think their WPCA meeting is on the 20th.
it'd be interesting to figure out who's gonna run it.
Well, they have some remaining.
Have we thought
They
about-
have remaining members. Not everybody resigned.
Right.
Well, it would be a big delay.
So I spoke with Carlos, today. He asked for a phone call. We discussed the situation and he doesn't agree with some of the numbers that Lime Shores has been throwing out there. And, he has, requested that we go forward and bid, our internal and the shared infrastructure. Hoping to show Lime Shores that their numbers, that they will have firm numbers, at least relatively firm numbers to base their referendum off of. They added, I mean, I sat through a presentation by their treasurer that said it was gonna cost like $84,000 over 20 years, but that included stuff not related to the sewer project itself. It included road rework, it included drainage, it included the annual fee for using the sewers, and that was high. Anything that, if it was 1% chance of being $800 or 80% chance of being 500, they picked the 1%, 800. Everything was inflated in that whole thing. I heard that the last time that they were put out this spreadsheet, it was up to $144,000.
What kind of influence we have?
We don't have much influence. All we can do,
Town has or DEP has.
well, the DEP has quite a bit of influence. They're under consent order. I mean, they're under state law to do something. So the DEP has quite a bit. Carlos's feeling right now is that there's too much uncertainty in Lime Shores because they don't know costs. So the best thing to do is go forward and
Give them firm.
bid out everyone else's project and see, then they can see pretty much where they're gonna end up. I mean, the numbers aren't gonna change much from one end to the other. The sewer project, by the way, I believe came out to $2,400 a year. So I don't know where, over 20 years. So that's about $48,000 if you annualize it out. I don't know where they came up with the other $100,000 of expenses. I don't know, but, I haven't been asked to get involved. Thank you. I don't think I will until, the DEP or Lime Shores or someone asks our opinion, but right now they're under consent order to do their work. And that's, what it is. So the good news is that the DEP is actually encouraging us all to bid before the end of the year to get hard numbers. And I will tell you that the good news also is that we're in probably the best time to bid in the last decade as far as owners. There's not much work out there. People are getting nervous. Projects have been canceled. And so it's more of an owner's market versus a bidder's market right now.
Is there any, I guess I just want to put this out there. Is there a pro-con list of maybe inviting Old Lime Shores back into? They were always part of this WPCA. Would that have any, is there a pro-con discussion on maybe considering that at this time?
I think that we should let Lime Shores, I think we have to let this go forward
And then we
without, yes,
how
and
it's
see
settled.
where it ends up. I think it's much too early to do anything as a town, except offer assistance in guiding them through this process if they need it. No one's asked, so. But that's a good question.
Maybe after the 20, meeting on the 20.
Or after we bid and see where they're standing, if they feel it's too expensive, then I'm sure the DP is gonna come down. Carlos has said, they risk, that extra funding isn't always gonna be on the table, so.
It could cost them even more.
Yeah, I guess I don't understand the logic but
Well, you mentioned about misinformation, and there's been a lot of misinformation. Even when people were presented the facts, they said, "Oh, great," and they went back to the misinformation.
so I said misperception. I didn't say misinformation.
Oh, I'll say it. There's been misinformation.
Well, there's been, I mean, that's kind of an easy thing to do with all the different opinions flying around and all the different
Wow.
WPCAs.
Yes,
I mean, I know we
Except for the
try
fact
to do
it's-
education.
But they have people talking about what the numbers are, and they have a presentation that says what the numbers are.
Yeah.
And they're not reading the presentation, they're talking on cell
they're
phone.
choosing to believe whatever they want to believe.
That's, I think
That's
true.
human nature.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can't force them to believe something they don't want to believe.
Well, they have a big improvement on the planning on the
It's
beach.
easier to believe truth.
Yeah.
Than it is to believe
Well, I
truth.
think,
Depends what
I mean,
feels
I
I
true.
think one of the things that I heard, which is nothing to do with numbers, is that they were concerned about going out for a referendum to borrow more money when they didn't really have a solid figure of how much money they were gonna need. So why would you say, well, let's get another 6 million if you only need 4, or if you need 8? So
Yeah.
get the number and then go out, and then everybody would have the solid numbers.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
Well, they're lucky enough to have 3 other people bidding,
Yeah,
so they'll probably be able to glean quite a
Right.
bit from
yeah,
that.
It's a big number. 'cause
Just like we did. We did the same thing.
yeah, and they were nice enough to give us their bids, which we didn't pay for
Right.
as a data point.
So, I'll talk to Rich afterwards. I haven't had any luck getting Connecticut water records.
Oh.
But maybe I'm not contacting the right people.
Okay,
You want
So-
a meeting, Chuck?
Well, I'll see if Rich has a contact. He's got one before.
They've changed a lot of people there.
well, yeah, I forget the name, I'll have to dig it up. But I ran into him at a restaurant, and that seemed to change it,
Oh,
but I had to sign an NDA.
Okay, that's all right.
It's changed. All the people I know are gone.
All right, so,
I'd like to, excuse me 1 minute.
yes, Randy.
Randy here. Can you hear me all right? So-
Yes,
So just for the whole committee, the whole WPCA, let me just tell you, just because I live in the world of wastewater projects, I would tell you that what Steve said earlier is very true. Right now, I know this isn't a small project for Old Lyme. It's a huge project for Old Lyme, but in general, in our region, Massachusetts not included, which can be really goofy because there's a lot of work in Massachusetts. But in Connecticut in general, I would say that we are in a better bidding environment from what I see going on right now for putting pipe in the ground and building pump stations and that kind of work. Not necessarily big, huge treatment plants and CSO facilities and all that kind of thing, but it's as good as it's been in a long while right now. So getting this thing out to bid soon, before the end of the year, if we can do it, makes a whole ton of sense for the whole effort going forward for us to comply. So I just want to throw that out to the team. Okay.
Thank you, Randy. No, one thing that I'd like to clear up, because Carlos mentioned it to me. Carlos has said that there's concern that I am pushing this project forward because I'm going to either bid on it or I have some vested interest financially in this project. Carlos,
Oh.
I swear. I don't have a company that would bid this job. I don't have the bonding to bid this. I don't have any interest in doing this job. I have no vested interest whatsoever in pushing this project forward, except to comply with the state DEP requirements. I don't know. I think that people may think that I do because I'm in the business, but I just want to make clear that I have no vested interest in this job except to do what's right for the people of the town. I do not stand to capitalize financially on this project, so I just want to make that clear because
It's a good way.
it's not the first time I've heard that. At the presentation, because I performed a rehab in Brybrook 20 years ago, someone said I had a vested interest in the project. So I don't. The other thing is, I haven't gotten anything, but we're in the second of 3 months of presenting EDU calculation proposals. So next month in December will be the last month that you will be able to request time to present your proposal. Right now, all we have is Dimitri's.
Can we talk about that for a minute?
Sure.
Dimitri, so, we spent some time looking at your EDU proposals and your calculations. Got a little bit confused because I think at one point we decided we weren't going to do individual buildings, that we were going to count according to what's on the property. So if there's 2 buildings on that property and each have 1 bedroom, we just kind of count it as 2 bedrooms, correct? Not 2 buildings, 2 EDUs, or 2 half EDUs.
When was it?
All right,
I believe we did do
When
that.
was it?
we did agree on that, right?
So we learned that we had, originally we were told 1 pipe per 1 building, and then we were told that we could have 2 buildings connect to 1 pipe.
Right.
And that changed that.
EDU calculation.
Well, no, it changed that we didn't have to have 2 separate buildings and 2 separate pipes and 2 separate, assessments.
Well, as I know, the code, 2 buildings to 1 pipe is not permitted.
I'm pretty sure you gave us
It's
the
different.
It is.
Septic versus a sewer.
It is different. You can. I would like to change our ordinance that if you do that, you have to combine the 2 in a manhole and have one pipe going from the manhole to the sewer.
So on the beginning of your spreadsheet or your calculation, you have 20 1-bedroom properties, right?
Yeah.
But there's 5, because if you combine them, for instance, the 6 farms, there's 6 1-bedroom properties that are all appraised together. So I think when you look at the state statute and what we're trying to get to, you can't keep subdividing the properties. And I've talked to Eric Knapp, and there's not a single property in our domain that can be divided. So you have to value the entire property, not this building or this apartment or.
I
this
did it
stuff.
on a record, in the town record.
Okay, I'm just telling you what I saw when I looked at the papers that you gave us. It didn't really, whatever, so that's what I saw. So we took it a different approach. We looked at we went back to the EIE, which stipulates that
Who are
one.
we?
Hmm?
Who are we?
Oh, Dennis and I.
Okay.
We tried to include you, but, so we looked at the EIE, which says that 3 bedrooms is equal to 1 EDU, at least in most of the divisions. And we went by that, and we agree with you that if there's a 4th bedroom, that's 0.25 of an EDU. So we keep calculating that way. But we're not gonna worry about kitchens. It's really about the number of bedrooms presented, the number of people in the residential properties. Okay. Let me just finish because it'll only take me a minute. And I spent over 50 hours of this on this. And I went through the assessor's records and I separated out the residential from the pure commercial to the mixed properties. And according to your calculations, 88% of the entire debt would be pushed over to the residential properties, and that's not really acceptable. I think that the commercial properties, according with the assessors that we've already talked to, Karen, that you've retained, and the assessor that Soundview's coalition retained, both agree that the commercial properties are valued higher than residential's, because after all, You may be using your property right now as an apartment, but it's zone commercial in a commercial building. And when you sell that property, that value will be as a commercial property. My value will still be as a residential property, no matter what I do. Let me just finish, please, and then you can speak. When we looked at it, there are 168 properties total. Actually, I don't want to say it wrong, but here's the sheet, and it'll show you. There's 100, and you can have this. This is inventory to me quite a long time. It's 168 residential properties. There's 10 truly commercial properties, and there's, I think, 16.
Excuse me, do you want to put this in a presentation?
I'd like to say it here because.
We don't have any.
It was on the agenda to talk about the EDUs. I'd like to
Well,
explain.
no, it was under the chairman's report.
Oh, okay, I'll stop talking. I know.
Okay, we'll present it at December's meeting.
Okay, I mean, that's what it's, I'd be more than happy, but I mean, this is,
Well, I
You're-
thought we were going to talk about EDUs and how we were going to approach it. There was talk about on the agenda about looking at the water consumption and about trees, and this is just a third approach. But if you don't want me to share it, and then I'll share it elsewhere.
well, I do want you to share it. I want you to share it, but I want it so that we can all follow what you're saying. I mean, this is,
It's being pretty clear, but you know.
Well, it is a little hard when you talk about the numbers and stuff, and I'm wondering where you're gonna go with this.
Oh.
So maybe you do the executive summary for now and then present your case later.
Really quickly, when I look at the state statute saying what you can assess and what you can't. You can't assess greater than the value added. And both of our assessors have agreed that it's somewhere between 10 and 15%. When you add up what the current assessments are, this project is going to come short by $1 to $2 million. And that's in that spreadsheet right there. So we have to have a different way of doing it. You can't, I mean, it isn't going to work unless something else changes. The other
What are
issue.
you suggesting?
I don't have a suggestion. I've tried every single way I could think of to try to make it work, and I can't find a solution to make it work. I can just tell you that when you look at it from that perspective, from a legal perspective, it's short. And the other thing.
I disagree with you,
Okay.
all right? And
I'll
Well,
present it.
if it's 10 to 15% and a house is valued at $200,000 and it's 15%, that's $30,000,
Okay.
which is well under what our assessment would be.
Most of our houses are not assessed over $200,000.
There's a lot that are.
Can I have that?
Those one bedroom bungalows, yeah, of course. But a three bedroom house, a 3-bedroom house,
Is not.
I mean, I have it all here in a spreadsheet. I'll be glad to share it with
The
you.
way,
All the numbers, all those numbers will change
I
at the
know.
end of the month.
That's why I was hoping we were going to wait until after the appraiser finished her work. But this came up now, and instead of waiting for the appraisals, here we are. I
So,
wanted to wait.
we
for
didn't
the
make a
appraisals.
decision now. We actually have a system and we're talking about reevaluating it.
Mhm.
So it's not like we have to decide now.
No, I know that. I'm just trying to present.
you're bringing
But I have
value,
an idea.
value of the property you're bringing.
Pardon?
You're bringing value of the property.
Okay.
This was not the case.
Well,
Value of the property.
there's an upper limit on value. what you're saying.
Waterfront property more value than a property that on a sound use.
I see. Well, you know what?
So
I'm
you
gonna
can
put it
only-
thinking and-
it's possible-
Dimitri, I think I think she has the right idea. She has to write this up. This is an impossible thing to try to follow without looking
It's
at
mirrored.
this presentation.
Dimitri, I guess my question is, how would you like this presented? Do you want a PowerPoint? Do you want a written? Or I'll help you to make a
spreadsheet for
presentation.
you.
If you do the way I did, just print what would be assessed, how it would be assessed,
Okay.
and just pass it to
We
everyone.
just had a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But no, you pass it to the chairman.
So
I don't like, I hear it.
lost, if you can hear me, I lost, I can't hear you.
Steve, can you unmute?
How's that? I unmuted something. I'm not sure.
Thank you. Yep, I can hear you now.
Perfect.
All right.
Mine next month also. If there's anyone else that wants to take a shot at it, feel free. It's really interesting stuff.
So you weren't able to get consumption from Connecticut water?
I was, but not recent.
So,
I wasn't asked to recently. So, years ago.
yeah.
And
If,
the
do you,
prime,
is that somewhere on, I mean, I don't think for the purposes of
well,
what she wants to do, I don't think it really matters as long as you give her some type of consumption.
No, you were looking for it too.
well,
I would never base it off of consumption, but
The difference is that the western side of Portland Avenue has been added to the consumption unless Rich's information is after that fact, it's not gonna be up to date.
I don't know when it was, you're talking about the adding, but it's old.
Okay,
It's not recent, but and the information was per house. And if I remember correctly, we're talking about 50,000 gallons per day. It was like 12,000 gallons per day. So it was,
Connecticut water, and they sent me an email within 5 minutes of my consumption bill since we signed up in 2020.
yeah,
yeah, I don't doubt that.
but getting all your neighbors'
Right,
consumption,
right.
I had to sign an NDA. And so,
I'm just saying they can do it. It seems not that difficult and they have the information and.
They do have the information. It's contacting the correct person. And maybe you don't hit contact us, but that's why I asked Rich for a contact. It
it was somebody pretty high up.
Maureen Westbrook,
I don't remember.
okay, well, she's
But-
she's.
No, it was a
president
man.
Of the consumers.
It was the president of Connecticut Water
I think she
Company.
retired.
And
She might have done that.
I went to high school with her.
and
So I don't think it's important in regard to evaluating the residentials, but I think it might come into play in determining the commercial properties.
yeah. So the commercial properties were supposed to have unique assessments. Like
anyway.
if you have a commercial property with no public bathrooms, no water usage, it's not really fair. If you have ones that have bathrooms for a restaurant, then there's a formula for that. And, there was also talk of some kind of measurement for them before we even had the meter stuff. So, there's ways to do it. It's not a new topic in this world. It's just new to us.
No, I agree. I think they're separate, the residential and the commercial, the evaluations.
You wouldn't need to know the addresses or names of the usage, would you?
The what?
The addresses or names of the usage? If you just get a line item with the amount of usage, the address and the name doesn't matter, correct? Okay.
So
Well,
the
Yeah.
point, there's two ways of looking at the water usage. Usually it's on the back end after the project.
I don't know why they would want.
So there are some models that use it on the front end to help with the EDUs, but I thought, if we're gonna revisit that, that's fine, but I thought over all these years, we thought that with the situation that we're dealing with, that might not be the best way to do it.
it's
No,
not.
yeah,
Uh,
but if we want to revisit it this one last time.
Right, we don't know that. She wants the data, we'll give her the data.
But it is going to come up with usage, so they'll
Oh, I
pay
agree.
based on
I
usage.
agree. I
And it's
agree.
gonna be even more important because you have mixed usage. You have residential and commercial in the same building. So that makes a difference.
But they pay,
Not on the back end,
when on
doesn't
the
it?
back end, you just
It's
pay
just
for
usage.
water usage. Doesn't matter if you're residential or.
I don't know, if Connecticut Water saying there would be two separate meters in a house that was mixed usage, it might be one residential and one.
Okay.
commercial.
Just like electrical.
So, well, all right, but it doesn't,
Southview also has two zoning. Did did you take that into account? You're zoned differently on.
We have 4 zones in
Four.
Sunbury,
Four,
4,
Oh, why would that come?
and miscellaneous area B.
I mean,
well, that is the usage of the property where it's commercial versus residential.
the usage, is going to be based off of, consumption of water metered going into whatever it is. It won't matter whether it's commercial or residential.
Correct.
It's the consumption.
Oh, no, I
The
agree.
formula's not gonna change if it's for
I-
commercial property. They're just probably gonna use a lot more of it, but
But that's new.
I think Dimitri, in his charts, he was saying that if you use water like
They're
Kokomo's,
trying to,
you might have a higher assessed value or requirement than if your business wasn't open to the public, and I would agree with that too.
I think that's fair.
I do too. I also think that all commercial properties should be valued based on square footages, and that follows what an assessor would do.
That's the original plan we have right now, is livable square foot, because we don't have good data on bedrooms,
On the commercials, yeah.
on everything.
Well,
But that's our current process.
right.
we
That
can-
could change.
But I'm going back to the EIE, which stipulates that 3 bedrooms in residential property equals 1
Well,
EDU.
that wasn't a contract that required us to use it. That's a reference point and an idea and a way to estimate.
Okay, I thought it was your Bible.
No, it was the plan and study, but if you find something better, I mean, if it says something we don't like, every house has to be 3 bedrooms, and we know every house is not 3 bedrooms.
Oh, no.
That's where we got to this, so.
Right, we agree with that.
Do you know the way the other beaches? I'm pretty sure Miami, they just told me every house is 1.
Yeah, they divided their number of EDUs by houses and came up with an assessed value, like Point Woods did. Point Woods assessed everyone the
So
same.
their population is that.
Yeah,
They don't have,
right.
they don't have what we have.
103 EDUs and 193
They're,
properties.
they're not all.
Well, we have about 168, 194 county commercials, and somehow we have 270 EDUs, so the equation can't be the same as what Old Line
The
Shore.
270 was an estimate in that EIE.
Yeah.
So that estimate includes all the properties and includes some properties that are multiple EDUs because they're huge. And it also included, there's a couple of 5,000 square foot houses.
There's only 2 or 3 that are over 5,000.
So there's more than 0.
There's 1, and there's 2 or 3, including Dimitri's, that are over 3,000.
I don't know if Dimitri was in, you talking about Old Colony? You're talking about?
Oh, no, I'm
Something.
sorry, we're back talking about Sunview. And
I'm
Old Line
talking
Shore,
just Sunview.
they have view
No,
down
it's not
Sunview.
using
So,
names.
hold on. This is, I think it doesn't matter how. Mary's gonna present her thing. Dimitri's presented his. I'll present mine. If anyone else wants to present on EDUs, they can. And then we'll have discussions in January and maybe even February on which way we want to go. And Frank's may trump everyone. Frank, it may be the best way. I don't know, but going back and forth arguing over property sizes, she wants to figure it a different way than Frank did and Dimitri and probably myself. So it's good to get a group of ways of figuring EDUs so that we can discuss them and come up with the best solution. That's all I can say.
We're looking at 4, so we're gonna try to get a comparison table of the 4. There's a good visual.
Well, let's get the
Did you want to compile?
Sure.
things and we'll go from there. All right, old business, CWF.
you missed update on, DOT.
Oh, sorry, thank you. That's going along quite well. BL, who is the, BL Engineering, who is the state DOT rep, has received all the things that they've requested. Fuss O'Neill has redesigned some of the things that got out to them last Friday. The DEEP and DOT are in discussion about a section, about 2,000 feet of our pipe is within the DOT contractors, uh,
Domain.
yeah.
Area.
Yeah, it's a, limits of,
Right away.
construction. And they are going to be putting in our pipe, in that section. Um, sometimes, a lot of times they say it comes in less because they're already paving the road that goes under DOT. It's just installation of the pipe. So it could come in less per linear foot than what we are actually going to end up spending. However, they requested, DOT requested, Fuss and O'Neill to give an estimate of the cost of the work. They estimate at $700,000. That's to put the pipe across, just to buy the pipe, put it across two bridges and bury it for 2,000 feet, which, by the way, is about 1/8 of our whole project on Force Main. So if you just multiply that out, that would be like $55.6 million, which is pretty good for the Force Main, but we'll see. But regardless of that, the problem came in is Dot said, well, just write us out a check for 700,000. So we know that we have the money. And I was like, well, we don't have any money. And she says, well, you have to have some. I said, no, it's all funded by CWF. There's no like down payment on this. And they were kind of surprised. They had some discussions at a lower level, and DOT said, well, you just got to give us the $700,000, and DEP said, we're not giving you anything. So now it's bumped up. Both sides feel they're going to come to some type of solution shortly, but that's not going to affect us from bidding our work. And to go along with that, Fuss and O'Neill has indicated where they have to start. So they're going to require that work get done first so that we're well away from that area when they start to do their work so that traffic patterns aren't messed up. And that's a DOT requirement. That's what's going on there. Old business, CWF construction application. We're getting close. As you are aware from Andrew's report, the design note has been extended for a year, so there's no interest payments, and that will get rolled into the construction note once we go out to bid and award.
That's fantastic.
So we have to come up with the numbers, is that right, Rich?
Yeah, we have numbers, but we have to refresh it.
All right.
We have to figure out what we asked for. You can change it. They don't like it.
I think we should ask for as much as we can get, and
Well, you can't be ridiculous.
well, I would ask for whatever the balance of our referendum is.
Yeah,
of the
okay.
Design.
That's kind of what the numbers are in there now.
Yeah. All right, maybe you and I can talk about, and Andrea talk about getting that, because we'll need it shortly, I think, if things bid out next month.
Yeah, there's a 60-day, we can't submit it until 60 days after we get the bids, something like that.
Oh, okay, all right. All right, so, after we get the bids?
Yes. I think. I have it in the notes.
All right, I'll bet it's the opposite. You can't submit it 6 days before the bid.
I could probably try and find the notes.
Because after the, I mean, they don't.
I may have
bids open for 6
misspoke,
days.
but there's a 60-day thing that we can't do it until 60 days for some event.
Well, we can certainly, we have a little time, so we'll get that straightened out. Under new business, we have approval of calendar for 2025 meetings. I revised this to say all meetings at 7:30 PM unless otherwise noted. The dates haven't changed. They're the second Tuesday of every month unless I messed up somewhere.
So there's 4 Tuesdays that happen, the 8th and the 9th. Those are kind of tough to get budget reports ready by. And July 8th is a holiday week.
It's right after a holiday week.
Yeah,
All right,
or
so-
do we want to consider making those four on the third Tuesday?
I was gonna suggest similar, like even November 11th. That's Veterans Day.
Yeah,
Yeah, we won't even be, town hall won't even be open.
Is it on Tuesday?
yeah.
Always, it's.
Oh, it's a set, I didn't know that.
November
I
11th.
was gonna say it's November 11th
It
this year.
should be on a Monday, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Sorry,
11
11 every year.
at 11 o'clock in the morning.
So, which ones, Andrew?
So
do you-
there's- April 8th,
April 8th, hold on.
but the next Tuesday's the 15th.
Is that a problem?
Yeah.
Oh, that's,
You're gonna pay taxes.
that's where I have to file my extension.
Also, Steve, we used to
By
have,
7:30 at night, you better have it done.
we used to
have
have
no
1
midnight.
month, we didn't have meetings, was August.
But we scheduled.
Yeah, we
it, but
always schedule it, but
Schedule it,
we usually
but
cancel
We
that.
cancel.
That is true.
Yeah.
So
So like,
do you want to go April 16th? I mean, it's a Wednesday. You want to just,
we,
all right, so let's keep it April 8th, and if you don't have the report, you don't have the report.
I'm just though, okay, but there's like, now we have 5 of those out of
Oh.
12 months that are gonna be like, it's hard, because I have to wait for Anita.
Yeah, I understand. June 10th, you want to move to June 17th, I assume.
Well, June 10th I was okay with. I mean, that's.
Yeah, that's okay.
The 10th is okay, but the 8th isn't?
Well, because with the
a
8th,
holiday
9th, and
week.
10th,
Like July is a holiday week.
Well, no, she said June 10th. She's okay with June 10th, but not April 8th.
Because there's not a holiday before it, but July 8th becomes a problem
Well-
because 4th of July.
It's hard to get banking and financial reports by the first 8 days of the month, especially if it's a holiday involved and a weekend or two.
But all right, April 8th doesn't have any holiday in front of it.
No, I think she's meaning July.
July 8th, yeah, I
July
can
8th.
understand that, but, but you're okay with the 10th, all right, so,
well, I mean, I didn't want to.
So
do the
maybe-
whole schedule.
I mean,
I was trying to. be
well,
selective.
I mean, this is why it's voted on. So July 8th will move to, July 15th.
Okay,
All right.
that's the third Tuesday
September 9th will move
to the
to
16th. That's the
15th,
third Tuesday.
15th.
16th.
16th I am.
No,
So November 11th has to get moved.
The 12th.
To the 18th.
yeah. Correct.
And December 9th
Goes to the
goes
16th.
to the 16th.
So then I guess I do want to do April and June. So April so what do we want to do
So
about
I'm
April?
keeping April where it is because I don't see a viable alternative. Unless,
All right, so now-
unless everyone feels that coming in on getting your taxes done on the 15th. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I'll just have a day earlier.
You're doing on the weekend.
What do you think?
Yeah,
I'm just looking at if there was a primary next year, August 12th might be affected because of early voting, which will just turn town hall into,
But August 12th is sometimes a meeting we don't take.
that's okay, fine, that's great.
All right,
That's the
so-
one we
So
cancel.
the 8th will keep, but we might not have a report. And then what's the 10th option? Then that would be the June 17th?
It's Randy. Hi, Randy. I'll put you on speaker.
Do you guys care about June
This is great
10th or June 17th? You care?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, Father's Day.
I'm on Teams calls. I'm on Teams on my computer. I'm on Teams calls all day, every day. And I can't get
The
into this
internet.
meeting
The
the
internet
way
is
that it's
taking
done, so it's.
Too many
very
people.
frustrating.
here, all using it.
Shouldn't be, 'cause Tons of people here during the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead with your comments, Randy.
That's thing up for bid because we're running out of time. Whether you like it or not, that's our obligation. So that's the second point. My third point is that I just, if you want me to talk to Martha Shoemaker and whoever else in town to help get this technology fixed, I will go talk to them. I'll put them in touch with my IT people because it's crazy. I mean, I can't, I'm on, I'm off, I can't get on Teams, I can't get on through phone calls. This is silly. So that's it. That's all I've got to say. And I wish everybody a great night. But let me see if I can help. Okay.
All right, so Martha's here. So she heard you, and I think she said she's gonna take you up on your offer, but I'm not sure.
Well, if you'd like to rewire it.
Okay. What, are you gonna stay on or you're leaving? All right, it's almost over. All right, so, June of 18th, is that what we want?
17th.
17th, is that Monday?
Well, if the
June
10th,
18th is
it's
a,
June 10th is a
It was a
Tuesday, add 7 days.
so, no, then I messed up. So June, 2025, the 18th, it's the 18th.
Oh, okay, so it
Unless
could have been the 9th.
That's not a holiday, is it?
No.
No.
June 19th?
Juneteenth is
Juneteenth
June
is
19th.
19th, okay.
Oh, wait,
Could be, June 14th, wasn't that
I
Juneteenth?
might be,
No,
June-
it's the
June-
19th.
hold on.
19th.
June,
14th is Flag Day.
it is June 17th, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it-
Tuesday is the 17th.
Okay,
I was wondering why you're.
That's in the wrong year. That's great. September 16th, is that correct? Yeah.
yes, I looked at,
October 14th, November 18th,
and
is correct.
December 6th.
December 16th.
Did we lose everybody else who was on?
No, I still see them on.
All right,
It's
so
just here.
I think that's, all right, so what I have here is January 14th, this is in 2025. To summarize, January 14th, February 11th, March 11th, April 8th, because we don't have another viable one, I guess, unless you want to go to the 15th.
No, keep going.
All right, May 13th, June 17th, July 15th, August 12th, September 16th, October 14th, November 18th, and December 16th, all at 7:30 unless otherwise noted. Can I have a motion to approve this proposed agenda, proposed 2025 meeting schedule?
Make that motion.
Can I have a second?
Oh, second.
All right, roll call out. Dennis,
Yes.
Andrea,
Yes,
Corey,
Yes.
Dimitri,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes,
Rob,
Yes.
Randy, Brad Yertz. Did we lose Brad?
Yes.
Yes, we did lose him. Okay, I think that's it.
Can we have that sent out to us in an email?
Yeah,
Correct.
I'll send it, I'll not only send it out, it'll be posted in the minutes.
and it'll be put on the calendar.
And it goes on the calendar.
Right, it goes on the calendar.
and then we'll have to pay for the rooms.
Oh, how did I do that? Okay, Next on the agenda is any other new business that may come before the commission. And Rich has asked
Yeah.
for some time here.
So in the short, I'm resigning after this meeting. I wanted to explain it. I've been on this 12, 13 years. I'm proud of that we took it from some place that was pretty chaotic, may not feel that way, to a more organized, transparent. I remember the early days, it was really crazy, trying to figure this complicated project out. And where my day job requires me to do a lot more work. And I just won't be able to attend meetings. Not just in person, but I'm like December and January, I'm going to be in Houston, I'm going to be in Savannah, Georgia. I have to do more international travel. So I just don't think I can continue serving. And the way I work is I'm all in or I'm not in. So I also want to say, support your chairman and vice chairman. And when they ask you to do some work, try to help them out, because I've been in that seat and you're like, you feel the weight of the world on you. So anyways, so just want to make that statement. And I'll send a letter in emails to make it official, tie up the records to say, I'm not leaving the world. I'm still available if someone wants my opinion on something or files or questions or whatever.
So you're available for consulting purposes.
For zero charge. I'm not
Oh,
I'm not doing any, I'm not set up for that way.
You've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'd like to, I'm gonna, as chair, I'm gonna go a little further. When I first joined was, I think, a couple of months before the previous, Kurt Zimmer, I think, was chairman. At that point, we had an attorney attend every single meeting. We had an engineer attend every single meeting at a cost of probably $1,500 a meeting. Expenses were uncontrollable. It was run if it was run at all. I mean, it almost seemed, it was pretty chaotic, to say the least. Rich took over in a difficult situation and has guided us through implementing the EIE. He's guided us through signing contracts with London, with East Line, with a contract to sign a contract with the beach associations. And Rich also opened up the door to the beach associations by reaching out and taking an interest in their project and gaining their trust. However you feel, we would not be in where we're at now, ready to bid the project next month if it weren't for Rich's hard work. You know, he's going to leave a void that's going to be very difficult to fill. And I'm happy for you. And I thank you very much for all the service that you've done. And I wish you all the luck, all the best.
Thank you.
That's it on that. Hey, we got 5.
Thank you, Rich.
Honest and working and giving so much of his time to the town. I want to thank him for that.
You're welcome. Thank
All
you.
right. All right, so we're going on to correspondence. I haven't had much correspondence that I haven't mentioned in my chairman's report. I did receive copies of all the resignations from Allied Shores. But besides that, I don't believe I've had any correspondence as far as I can remember. I've been trying to get better at when I do get some email putting in. I have had a lot of stuff from Carmody, but I don't really consider that correspondence. I consider that record keeping. Now we're on to
I do have one quick
Yeah.
thing. Do we want to put, a place on the agenda for Erica to give us an update? At the meetings? I think that might be really helpful.
A Carmody update?
Yeah,
All right.
are you open for that? Okay.
Okay. All right, the last, second to last item is public comment, and, there's some people here. I'll take the people here and then try to get to the ones on the, I'll try to get the people on the teams. So is there anyone here that has public comment?
Well, my name is Roger Zito. I'm from Old Shores.
Okay,
We're in a dilemma. We have 3 people resigning. Online started this fiasco 13 years ago. I selected a few in Buster O'Neill. We went to the WPCA, presented their blessing to, they can go to DEP to Fuss and Neal come up with the, to make up a consent order. Then in turn, consent state DEP, and you're probably all aware of this. Because online was the culprit of all this.
Old Lyme or Old Lyme Shore?
Old Lyme Shore, excuse me.
Thank you.
So I've been involved with this for 13, 14 years forever. I know Ron Rose, John Flower, all the people that inspected this, all this work. And they went to DEP, we probably aware of this, right? And they asked for consent order.
Yeah.
And they don't Old Lyme Shores. Now that's
I believe
that's
that's
kind of
correct.
strange because why would you go to the state and ask for consent order? The state gives you a consent order. And in order to have a consent order, you need violations in place. You aware of that? You need violations.
Well, I don't think you need this really isn't a back and forth. You don't need violations. The DEP has to determine that you're polluting.
Well, there's no proof. Nature's never told, well, listen, look, I know more of this than you do. I've been here for forever. And the fact is that they manufactured a consent order, DEP gave it out to the Old Lyme Shores. Okay, they manufactured a consent order. The beach is empty now, there's no one there. There's no one at the Old Lyme Shore, very few people live there. Out of nowhere, Old Lyme Shores needs sewers. There's no one there.
Right.
So that's kind of great. So in order, let me say one thing. I used to be a code official. I used to be a health official. I set the septic systems. I sat down with DEP. I sat down with the health department and the state department, building department. The point is, I talked to several officials and some people used to work the town of Old Lyme in the capacity in the health department here. These people are working for cities and towns now. In a position that oversees some towns and their directors. So the point is, in order to have a consent order, you need violations in place. There's no violations of Old Lyme Shores on record with the town health department that we're polluting. There's violations for beach closures of that nature. There's nothing on file. So what I'm trying to say real quickly to you, I mean, I know you put a lot of time in this, you have a lot of interest, you pushing pursuers. There's nothing on file. So we had a consent order for Old Lyme Shores, put sewers in when there's no violations. Now that doesn't make sense. It's like, you get stopped by a police officer and you say, he says you were speeding. Well, I was not even driving the car, it was the side of the road. You get a ticket. For what? There's no proof. Something of that nature. So my point is, I was in the health department in working towns. Okay, I sat down with these people and these code officials, these people that work at the state now or in other towns, told me, you go back to DEP and say, where are the violations? We'll comply to this consent order. But we'll make any improvements you want We'll improve the septic system, like similar to Old Saybrook. And we'll work with you, but show us the violations where you make the improvements. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Number one, you're talking to the wrong body. We don't control Old Line
I
Shores,
understand that,
so I can't do anything there.
but that's where it started from.
Well, I know where it started from. And I guess the other thing I have to say is that state statute, the polluting is statutory. It's described in the state statutes that if the DEP says you're polluting, you're polluting. It's a statutory thing. It has, I know it's aggravating for a lot of people, but that is the statute. If you look it up, I don't know exactly what it is. I've read it myself. It's a statutory definition. If the DEP determines you're polluting, then you're polluting.
But we don't have anything on file in the town of Old Line.
It-
So it's false.
It comes from your EIE
I
study.
don't care what you say, it's
Okay,
false.
all right. So, thank you very much.
I appreciate all your hard work. And I was there. I worked 20 years as a code official. So, I mean, I
understand.
I
Thank you.
commend you people doing all hard work, but that is the facts. That's
Okay. All right. Is there, I'm gonna go down here. Vinny, do you want to say anything? I'll unmute yourself if you do.
I've never seen that.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I have no control over this. Okay, I don't hear you, Vinny, so, I don't know, maybe I'm muted. Is there
I'm
anyone
online.
online?
Hello?
Vinny, go ahead.
Steve,
Steve, can you hear Vinny now?
yes, I can. Hold it, because I can't get it from my computer, but I'm on my phone.
Okay, Vinny.
All right, thank you.
It's a
Steve.
huge echo.
Okay, okay, I shut off my computer because they said connect the microphone. I'm not that high tech. I don't have a microphone, but I'm on my phone. Okay, Steve. Well, number one, Dimitri shouldn't be doing the EDUs because he has
Vinny,
property.
could I ask your last name first?
Excuse me?
Could I ask for your last name?
Perezi, Perezi, 36 Portland Avenue in O-Line.
Thank you very much.
First thing, Dimitri shouldn't be doing EDUs because he's got interest in the project there. He's got property in that area. Let's move on from there. When you negotiated with New London, which is too late now, you know, did you talk to the Manabasset District in Cromwell? When the town joins into their sewer system, they become a partner. They buy in. And
Well,
they
we
get
are.
nobody representatives on the board. I don't know why I'm echoing. I'm sorry. I don't know how. I'm not that good with this stuff. That's too late. Now, Steve, as we walked through our cars after the last meeting, if you remember, I talked to you about I'm trying to build a house, knock down my house and build a year-round house.
Yes.
Okay, now, the health department's giving me a hard time because I want to knock down the house and I want to put the plumbing in to come out the front of the house and I want to put a holding tank until the sewers come. And the health department says she won't allow that because she has nothing from the state that says the sewers are coming. That's my problem.
Is that Patty?
Patty, yes. No, Patty's the building department. Excuse me, Cheryl, health department.
Okay, so Vin, once the plans are bid, which should be next month, there will be something that you could show that sewers are coming. So we may actually, so go ahead.
But I'm not getting any younger and I'm not that healthy. Yeah, I just want to build a place and I want to stay there to January and go to Florida for a few months. I mean, I got a 2-family 10-room that I don't need. I want to cut that down in half. I want to knock it down and build a year-round place. I want to go up and I only want 3 bedrooms you know,
You just
but I
lost
can't
Jim.
get past the health
No, Jim's
department.
still on.
He's still.
He's on my computer.
Excuse me?
Sorry, we had a technical
Okay.
thing here. Sorry, Vinny, keep going.
Okay, but I can't get past the health department to move on. And she needs to tell me, yes, I can't, or no, I can't. And then I could take it from there. Either go for a variance or whatever I have to do. I don't know, but I can't get past her at all.
Is
And
there anything else?
yes, one thing. The last speaker said about the town being out of date with the computers and everything. This town, O-line, is still run like, you remember the show Mayberry? Andy Griffith? That's how this town is running. It's wrong, man. One
Nice place to live, though.
department don't know what the other's doing anymore. I'm glad our first select woman is finally starting to attend meetings, but she can't attend all of them. I told her she needs to appoint someone to go to different meetings and report back to her. I guess that's about it. But this whole department issue is really
All right,
driving me
so
crazy.
Vinny, email the chair of the WPCA and I'll contact you.
Steve,
Yes,
you want me to email you?
email the chair at the WPCA. There's contact on the town website.
Okay.
So I have your
all right.
email address and
All right.
I'll
I know you guys
Right.
are, you're trying, I don't know. This is a whole mess.
Thank you for your
department
comments.
doesn't know that the sores are coming. I don't understand it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right.
Yep.
I'm going. Bye.
Bye now.
I'm out on you.
Is there anyone else online that wants to have a comment?
Am I unmuted?
MJM, Jim Lampos, go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I'd like to jump in, Steve. Saturday's Day had a public notice from Town of East Lyme on their proposed sewer rates. And I haven't seen their rates. I think the last one I saw was 2018. I kind of got sticker shock. They're currently at $9.90 per 1,000 gallons, and they're going to $10.70. So in terms of our annual fees, New London is at $2.50 per 1,000 gallons, so that was in the $200 a year range for their conveyance fee. But it looks like East Lyme is going to be somewhere north of $1,000 a year. And I'm wondering if any of these annual fees, the conveyance fees, are going to be considered when affordability is being judged.
Well, no, it's not. And I think your math's a little wrong. To get to $1,000 at $10, you'd have to have 100,000 gallons per resident.
No, 300 gallons a day, which is average homeowner use, would give us about $250 for New London, but $1,000 for East Lyme.
How can that be, Jim? We pay 25 cents for New London, and 10.7 would be like $170. I think your math is not correct.
I'll revisit. And we can talk about it. But in any case, their rate is 4 times what New London is for East Lyme.
Do
we have a different rate per contract? Not what the.
we have locked in rates, I believe.
Yes,
We do.
we
East Lyme.
do.
We do.
We have locked in rates with East Lyme, so our rate shouldn't change no matter what they're charging.
I didn't see there's
20 years.
I think it's a 20-year contract, right? Something built in
do you
there.
know do you know what the if do you know what the rate is that's locked in?
It's just send it to me.
It's in the IMA agreement.
Yeah, it's in our East Lyme agreement. This is not public comment stuff, but I'll be more than happy to get back to you.
Okay, I'll
It's
let you
$4.48 a gallon.
I'll let you move on.
Not a gallon.
Well,
Gallon?
original cost per gallon of transmission capacity.
Before you start putting them in the minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't be $4.40 a gallon.
I'll see you for that price.
300 gallons a
I'll
day.
carry it there.
Be careful, you got a lot of carrying to do.
You got a lot of.
All right, Jim, thank you. We'll get back to you. I'm not quite sure the math is correct. You had,
Okay.
it's 10 cents per thousand gallons, $10.70 per thousand.
Correct.
All right, is there anyone else online that wants to speak or have a comment? All right, hearing none, motion to adjourn,
Yes.
so moved, meeting adjourned.